LivelyRaccoon.
Alright. Hello everybody, I am LivelyRaccoon and this is Hook's Nest. It's the platformer based on the movie of the same name. And let's get into it. Alright. 3, 2, 1, and go. So at the start of the run, I'm going to do something that might look a little bit strange. I'm going to slash in place with no enemies in front of me, and I'm not moving. And that might look a little bit weird, but it gets to explain the controls of this game. So there are 2 buttons, a jump button and a slash button. And the slash button actually doubles in function as a run button. So when I hold down the slash button and move in one direction, and I build up speed and eventually start sprinting. I'm at sprint speed right now. And to get that held down, one way is to just slash on the ground. And we'll see an improvement on that in a bit. But for this stage, I get some fly meter from Tink, and then I fly on over to our first boss, Rufio, and I'm going to damage him and also damage myself to get down to 0 health, and that will actually make this score screen a little bit faster. So if I had remaining health, it would count it towards my score, which would lose me, I believe it's 16 frames per extra HP that I have. So when convenient, we want to get ourselves down to 0 HP. Alright, so here's that improvement I was talking about. For that first stage, I slashed in place at the start. And this is actually the strat that we normally do. We pause, hold the slash button, and then unpause. And that gives you the benefit of having the slash button held down, so you start building up speed, but without having to wait for the slash animation at the start of each stage. So that's just a little thing that kind of saves a decent amount of time over the course of the run. Also in the second stage, we have the pan sword. It's a bigger sword that has a bigger hitbox and also shoots a beam. It also functions as an extra hit point. So if I got hit right now, I would not take damage. I would instead lose the sword. Which is kind of good and bad because we'd love to keep the sword for a bit longer, but we have some damage boosts we'll need to do later. So this boss is random. He can appear in any of these 6 holes in the trees, and I can cover 5 of them when I have the sword. He gave me good luck there, that was really nice. That bottom middle hole is the only one that I can't cover with the sword. And I kept the sword through that stage just to be able to cover more options during that tree boss, kind of negate some of the luck. Now moving on to stage 3. This stage is a vertical climb upwards, so we're going to take advantage of some damage boosts, as well as taking advantage of this game's sometimes kind of seemingly generous collision detection, like that jump right there, where we jump, and it looks like we don't quite reach the slope or the platform that we're jumping at. But what's actually happening is that Peter's collision hitbox, which is just kind of a rectangle around him, the corner is just barely colliding with the collision hitbox for the slope. And so the game kind of puts us up despite it looking like we're not actually reaching that slope. Now we're moving on to stage 4. Stage is pretty straightforward. We're just kind of fly through it. And while that's going on, I gotta come clean about something, because this is a movie game. And it's based on a pretty good movie. So you might be expecting this to be ripe with movie lore. Well, unfortunately, I've actually never seen the movie, despite running this game since 2014. And I can only apologize for that. And if you're angry, be sure to send in a donation and let me know. Speaking of which, we're at an auto-scroller, so good time for some donations.
Thank you very much. We have got a $25 donation from Sluggy that says, "Good luck, Lively. Glad I get to catch your run live." And we also have a massive $250 donation from Wampa Stompa that says, "Hook, on my birthday, bangarang." And happy birthday there, Wampa Stompa. And then last run there as well, we have Tappy OJ there with $750, 15 spaces at $50 a pop. Thank you all for checking out our Gunstar Heroes run. Thank you very much for that massive donation there. We're so sorry about Dice Palace.
All right, so I moved on to the boss for this stage, which is that little ship. It's kind of random in the way that it comes out, and I messed up my strat a little bit there, but we were able to improvise and get a pretty quick boss kill, so not too bad. And moving on to stage 5, we're actually going to see our first zip of the run here, so I'm going to start by jumping and slashing. Hold that slash button down, start building up sprint speed, and then this quicksand is going to drag us down, and it's going to get us below this wall. And when we jump up and fly, that's actually going to put us partially inside of the wall. And the game doesn't want us to be inside of a wall, and so it ejects us out the opposite direction we're holding. So I was holding down left there, and it ejects me upwards, and we're able to skip a decent little section of the level there. And we're just going to fly on up to the end of the level. Not too bad. Then moving on to stage 6. This is a winter stage. It's pretty straightforward. We're just gonna kind of try to keep moving to the right without, breaking our momentum, other than we will have to stop kind of right at the start here because of the snowball enemy. Take him out real quick, and then we can start going again. Here, I'm gonna do this jump, try to get, there we go, under that slope. And we're gonna get this extra hit point. So if you notice at the top where it says power, that's my HP. I just got an additional tree, which will be helpful for later to do some additional damage boosts. That will save some time, and it's nice for safety as well. Coming up on a bit of a finicky clip. See if I'm able to get it. Oh, it tricked me. Dang. It looked like I was about to start clipping there, but didn't quite go all the way. So that clip is a bit weird. Knockback in this game works on a 4-frame frame rule, and if you get one of the good frames, then Peter will clip through that slope. But if you get one of the bad frames, I think there are 2 of each, then you won't clip through the slope. And what that kind of translates to in English is that there's roughly like a 50% chance that I'll actually clip through that slope. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get it in 2 tries there, but still was able to get a decent backup, so we're still going. And now we're on to everybody's favorite stage, stage 7. This stage is only an auto-scroller the whole time, and it's like a minute long, so good time for some donations.
Thank you very much. We got a $50 donation from Boots42 that says, what a great way to start the day. We also got a $25 donation from Quinton that says, I've been donating for the past 3 years and it keeps being an amazing event. The runners are so good and it is for such an amazing cause. It also distracts me way too much from my thesis, but that's worth it. Good luck to all the runners. And we have a $5 donations from Yuri that says, I've been following the live marathon since 2014, but now I'm able to donate for the cause. In the last year, I found out that I have thyroid calcification and it can lead to cancer. So I'm going to surgery soon. Thanks to the early detection. Wish me luck. And thank you to everyone for making this possible. The runners, the hosts, the tech crew, interviewers, and chat. Much love to you all. And good luck with your surgery there, Yuri. We also have a $50 donation from Coraline Violet that says, when I was 7, my father rented Hook. I must have really liked it because I finished the game at least 3 times before it was returned. I remember its music well enough to hum it at random in the 20 plus years before I saw the game again. Celebrating 7 years of being cancer-free while watching AGGQ. Keep doing what you do and keep that determination, friends. P.S. Rodney Mullen is the best.
All right, so we've made it through the auto-scroller perfectly, frame perfect execution there. And now we're on to stage 8. This stage is dark when that flame is not on the screen, but luckily there are these kind of green effects going on in the background that give you a lot of good visual cues of where platforms are, even if you can't actually see them. Now I'm gonna attempt a very difficult zip. Ah, dang, that stinks. Not quite able to get it there. Basically, I want to be as far left as possible up against that wall, and that will put me in a specific position that I can do some movement that will put me inside the wall, and I'll zip over to the left and save a decent bit of time, but nudged a little too far to the right. Let's see if I can get the second zip. Nice, okay, we got the second one. That saves a little bit less time, and it's not as precise in terms of the positioning, it's more of a timing thing. So basically we're manipulating the way that Peter's hitbox changes as we fly in different directions and then eventually slash. And that puts Peter's hitbox partially inside of the floor. And just like when Peter's hitbox is partially inside of the wall, the game doesn't want us inside there, so it will eject us out over to the left when we hold right. Now on to the boss for the stage. This boss can be a little bit tricky. We need to walk far enough right that he throws his head at us, but not too far to the right so that we're able to clear over his body without taking damage. I'm gonna attempt another zip here just for fun. Nice. All right. And that last zip there is exactly the same as that previous zip. We are getting ourselves into the floor and getting the game to eject us to the left, and then we end up at the end level trigger. Moving on to stage 9. This stage had a kind of precise jump right there at the start. We need to jump just as we build sprint speed. If we jump a little bit too late, then we'll end up taking damage from that enemy. And if we jump too early, we won't have sprint speed when we jump, and we'll lose about a second in terms of the movement. And on this stage, we have a lot of different individual screens, so almost on every individual screen, we're doing that strat that I talked about earlier, where we pause, hold the slash button, and then unpause. The exception is this room, because we start with a jump, so we can just slash in the air. Oh, I didn't get sprint speed. Thanks. So those platforms are perfectly spaced out so that if you land on the left edge and jump at the right edge, you'll actually get sprint speed. I was just jumping a little too early there. And here's Smee. It's a very tough boss fight. Nice, nailed it. All right. So that boss fight can be pretty tricky. We need to position kind of perfectly under him because he's going to move towards us. So we want his movement to be straight downwards. And then if we're timing the hits correctly, we can do just what I did there, which we just kind of chain hits very quickly and get a really quick kill there. It was very nice. Now we're on to the final stage before the final boss. Another precise jump right there, where we again have to jump right as we build sprint speed in order to get over that shield enemy. If we jump too late, we get hit by the shield enemy. Jump too early, then we won't have sprint speed, so our jump won't get the height that it needs. All right, this room has another pretty hard trick. We'll see if I can get it. Kind of precise jump. Nice, okay, I got it. So we need to kind of land on the left edge of those spikes and then jump at the very right edge. And again, they're just long enough that we can get sprint speed. And we get up into that platform, which actually isn't intended to be an entrance. It's supposed to be an exit that kind of trolls you. But if you're able to use your invincibility like that to get sprint speed on the spikes, then we're able to just barely reach it, which is quite nice. Take another hit of damage here and just fly through this screen. And now we're going to make our way towards the first encounter with Hook. So first we have this encounter with Hook, and then we'll have one more, and that will be the last boss. Hook is just timing. He is going to try to slash us every few seconds, and we need to hit him as he's trying to hit us. I got hit. Okay. One more hit. Okay. So just timing there. Mistimed one of the hits, but that's fine. And again, we're getting down to 0 health, 0 fly meter, and that makes the score screen go as quickly as possible. Now we have the final Hook fight. So time is coming up here in a bit. See if I can get this. All right. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And that's time. All right. Really good boss fight there at the end. And yeah, that was Hook's Nest. Hopefully you had a good old comfy time. If you're interested in this game, hit up the speedrun.com page. It has all the resources in the Discord. Or just hit me up. I'm always elated to see anybody run this game. And shout outs to the Hook community, in particular Author Blues, one of my biggest inspirations throughout the years speedrunning this game, and Snick, who did a really good task with a lot of good notes that helped out. And thanks to GDQ for having me and being one of my biggest speedrun inspirations. I've been speedrunning for almost 10 years, and it's wild the amount of positive impact it's had on my life just in general. So encourage anybody on the fence to give speedrunning a try. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and have a good one.
What a great run that was. But haven't seen the movie? What? Huh? Even the donations here are agreeing with us. $25 here from Ovaltine that says, Bangarang, LivelyRaccoon. I rented this game a ton as a kid and it's great to see it run. But seriously, do yourself a favor and watch the movie. You are the pan. We also have a $25 donation from Flexi5 that says, running Hook and now not having seen that glorious movie. How dare! Can I see some bangarangs in the chat? And with those bangarangs, and maybe we'll try and find a way to go and watch some Hook, we are going to take a quick break as we get set up for the next run. AGDQ will be right back after this. Hey folks, welcome back to AGDQ 2023 online. We've got ourselves an interview with the runner of Haiku the Robot.
Good morning, AGDQ 2023 online. It's Keizaron here, and I'm joined by a cute runner for a cute game. We have Quacksilver, who's going to be giving us a haiku run. Quack, how you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you so much for having me, and GDQ for having me. I'm so excited to run Haiku the Robot in just a little bit here.
I'm super stoked for you. I remember when the games list came out, I was looking through it and I saw Haiku, and Hobbs and I did it for the first step and had a blast with it. And just to see it make it was super cool. But then I saw that it was you running, and I popped off. I think I popped off more for that than almost anything else on the schedule, to be honest. But we got to talk about Haiku a little bit. But before we do, I just got to point out that I'm looking at your SRC profile right now, and I see Haiku the Robot, any percent, all bosses. The Lone Fungus, all spirits, all spells, all spirits maybe one day. For Ender Lilies, we got sub-spirits only. We got Hollow Knight. I'm noticing a pattern here.
Yeah, Metroidvanias and we have an understanding.
Now, what is it about Metroidvanias that just draws you into speedrunning them?
I just think they're so cool. No, I think there's something about Metroidvanias that sort of by their nature, like they open themselves up to a lot of routing conversations. There's so much to do. It's arranged in such a way that you can really play around and have a lot of fun, like routing and moving through. I'm also big on like category extensions and meme categories, and Metroidvanias are a playground for that sort of thing. So it's where I have the most fun in gaming, and Haiku is a very, very cute one. And so it was a natural fit.
Now, what was it about Haiku specifically that really stood out for you compared to some of the other games you've played?
Yeah, so Haiku, the movement in it is very, very clean and crisp, and I really like that. But also in a way that requires a lot of thought to it. The main sort of movement mechanic is Haiku has a heat gauge that his movement actions can cause him to overheat, and so managing that is a very cerebral experience. I'm also super grateful to be playing an indie game with a super supportive dev who has made speedrun things more accessible and been in contact with the community, and that helps develop everything just naturally and makes it a lot of fun to run.
Now, I'm gonna go a little off the rails here, kind of circling back to all the Metroidvanias you've done, but also asking this about Haiku specifically as well. So we've talked before about Ender Lilies and looking into an alphabetical boss order. So when's that for Haiku?
It's so unfortunate because we actually do the main story bosses in alphabetical order in any percent. I wanted to. I love exploring meme categories. I love exploring all the silly runs. I have tried, but not yet quite successfully, put together a run of Kronk percent, where you pull every lever in the game. It's agnostic. You can run Kronk percent in any game with levers, and in fact, you should. Please do that for me. But alphabetical full boss order or some of these other large scale memes soon. I'm hoping that as the community grows and as we get more eyes and more people playing around, we can collectively have so much fun with the video game and all it entails.
Now, you did mention that the movement tech for Haiku is really cool. Will viewers at home be seeing any big major glitches at all, or is this going to look like really fluid gameplay and natural?
So ideally it looks like really fluid gameplay. I wouldn't say there's anything except for maybe one or two tricks that sort of start to skirt towards that line of oh, she's doing glitches. But one of the main movement abilities we get in this game is a short range teleport. And when you are actively meant to teleport through some walls, the potential for exploitation is massive. So we will be doing some shenanigans with that. Also, invincibility frames in this game are, there is a little bit of comedy surrounding those, and I don't think I will spoil any further than that before the run.
Now, before we throw it back up to the front, I want to give you 15 seconds to tell everyone in the crowd why this is the run that they have to check out.
This is the run you have to check out because the movement is incredibly fluid, the game is incredibly adorable, and there will be so much poetry.
I do love the poetry in this game. Well, thank you very much for taking this time to talk to little old me. I know you're going to absolutely destroy this run. It's going to be an amazing watch. You all need to stick around and watch Haiku the Robot. But until then, we will see you all on the other side.
Thank you.
All right, we are almost ready for the Kirby's Adventure Run. Before we do that, though, we got a donation here, $10 donation from H2O Happy Dude that says, "Hey Arg, chat, and LivelyRaccoon. I'm enjoying the lesser-known games being ran at GDQs. As someone who has run the Game Boy version of Killer Instinct, I know how it feels to live on an island when it comes to running games you love. And if I heard you correctly, you've never seen the movie? Oh well, you aren't missing out on much, just one of Robin Williams' best movies of the 90s, Bangarang! This should cover the 50 cents per death for the Mario Shuffler tonight for Skybuilder's run, and it's going to fight the true final boss incentive for Cult of the Lamb. More GDQ? Yes, please. And speaking of more GDQ, it is time for the Kirby's Adventure Run with Dark Soul 188. Take it away.